Good morning. So let's talk about Brittany Spears. There was a psychiatrist or whatever who was on TMZ talking about she needs to be medicated. I would inject her if she didn't want to take her medicine. And I think that's really weird. But let's get into what he said.
Conservatorship was there for a reason. And even though, like you said, it might not have been, with the right person, the actual process needs to be in place, because when you have a mental illness to this degree, you need that kind of structure, supervision, and most importantly, to take your medication. And I think that's probably what's happened here. This is a no medication situation. Erratic behavior, the manic-y spending of money, recklessness, destroying people around her. No one feels safe around her. No one can control her. She's out of control on many levels.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you've been controlled your entire life and used for your money and forced into the spotlight and forced to dance and do all these things without so much as having a say-so on what goes on. Now, I don't like certain things that Brittany does, and I'm a huge Brittany fan, like a huge one. My entire family grew up like loving Brittany. She was really huge in my household and family. I do see her pushing the boundaries sometimes, like exposing herself maybe. And I'm not like, hey, I'm not here to judge her if she wants to do that. I mean, hey, Kim Kardashian made a whole career off of it. I'm not judging that. But what I am saying is, like, maybe it's her trying to take autonomy back over her own body since everyone else got to use it for their gain for years. And now she's doing her own thing. And you know, that guy she recently married, not the guy she's dating now, but the guy she recently married, I wasn't surprised that he was a weirdo or that he was trying to use her for her money. Like, I wish she never married him, because I think we all saw the writing on the wall with that guy. He came off as he was a user. But I don't think pumping her with medication, especially when she just got off of a bunch of medicine, which can be affecting why she's acting so erratic, let her calm down. Let her get it out of her system. Let her live her life how she wants to live it. And it is what it is. Like, people in today's society, or even before then, have like this weird fixation on controlling everyone. And it's her money to spend. Like, who are you to tell her she can't spend her own money? Last time I checked, you were not dancing on that stage with her. You were not captivating the hearts of millions of people for years. And not to mention, this girl is from the South. This is, like, people not gonna want to hear this, but this is how a lot of regular Americans act. Like, sometimes they have fun. Sometimes they have too much to drink. Sometimes, like, you know, I see she's gotten a little bit of, like, a relationship spouts. I'm not saying that, like, you know, she doesn't need therapy or anything like that. That girl has been through a lot. But at the same time, why are we just so quick to be like, you know what? Let's 5150 this person, because they're acting like a human who, any human who went through that would act erratic for a while. Again, I don't think that she should be, like, you know, exposing herself on the gram. But at the same time, do y'all 5150 all the other IG models who do it? No, it's just because Brittany is, like, literally America's sweetheart. There has to be boundaries. Like, you can't control that girl forever. And if they went about it the right way the first time, none of this would have happened. Like, they literally could have gotten her help or intervened without controlling her life and her money. Of course, she's not going to trust anyone. You know how children of narcissists typically get with narcissists at first? Like, their first partner would typically resemble what they went through during, like, childhood or whatever. Yeah, I think that we're seeing that play out with, like, you know, the ex-guy she was just with. I'm not talking about her children's father, because, like, I don't know. But her first real relationship outside of that conservatorship was with someone who seems like he wasn't the nicest, and he also wants to take Brittany's money. Like, this is typical. Like, she is going through a lot of trauma, and I don't know, I feel like people just, that's the thing, like, just like Wendy Williams, just like a lot of all these celebrities aren't fucking crazy. Like, let's be real, y'all just want to have access to their money. people want access to their money, so they come in and pretend like they just know so much, and like, she's just unwell. And don't get me wrong, I believe they'll do this to men too, but men, like, they can stand their own a little bit more, they can handle their own, so they're not gonna be able to push as hard as they can with like women, because they always give us the trope of being crazy or being erratic, and it's BS. But yeah, like, I'm just not surprised. Like, dang, what do y'all expect this girl to do? To go through years and years of abuse and be like, you know what, I am completely fine. No, that's not how it works. Give her time to calm down. I literally, I've seen this play out a million times. When people come out of abuse, they go buck wild for a while. Like, they have to get it out of their system. Now, again, I'm not saying she doesn't need therapy. She definitely does. But I do not think pumping her with medicine is the way to go about it. That's just me. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. It's too much. It's too much. I'm tired of everything, the solution being put some medicine in them. Big Pharma has got a chokehold on y'all. Oh my goodness.
These kinds of situations run into a wall eventually. Either she'll hurt herself, she might hurt someone else, or she could be 5150 because she's not being able to take care of herself. And any of those situations will push her to a place where then medication can be given to her against her.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure someone who's been constantly abused and constantly scrutinized would not trust people and push the limits. That's why they need to go to therapy. This reminds me of Justin Bieber. Like, she was Justin Bieber before Justin Bieber was Justin Bieber. Like, just being constantly crucified in the freaking media. Like, dang, dude, what do y'all expect from her? I don't know. It irritates me to see it unfold, of how people are judging her for how she's reacting to years of abuse. Like, not to mention, for the people who are like, of her generation, who are like, oh, she doesn't need to be, doing all that on Instagram. If people didn't want her to only know how to communicate that way, they shouldn't have viewed her as a sex symbol since she was a literal fucking child. Like, that's how she knows how to present herself. That's all she's done, has been a sex symbol her entire life. So she's gonna naturally fall back into that pattern. It's oh my goodness. It's like people will create, like, or give people mental issues. I'm not gonna say mental illness, because I just think that, like, this is PTSD. But people will create that. They'll give it to them. They'll over-sexualize them. They'll do all these things. And then when people react based on that, they're like, why is your behavior like this? Why did y'all force this on her? Like, she is young. She finally has her freedom. She finally has the chance to do things that maybe she wanted to do when she was young, but on her own terms, without it being, oh, let's make this money for, whether it be her family or the business itself. I just hope Brittany heals and has fun and gets it out of her system. And, I feel like a lot of her Instagram stuff is her being an entertainer at her heart, and just, learning how to navigate that. I mean, the girl stood in front of cameras for hours growing up, taking pictures or filming videos, to give us a good pop era. Like, she doesn't have anyone behind the camera anymore guiding her. So, of course, sometimes things are going to look a little crazy. It happens to the best of us. But give her grace. And also, she can go to therapy. Intervene that way. You don't need to control her whole life to say, hey, you need to go to therapy. Even if it's, like, mandated therapy because she, like, did something erratic. You get what I'm saying? But, again, do not pump her with medication again. It's, like, it's not fair to her or her children.
Well, I understand that, but at the end of the day, hopefully a judge would make the decision in the best interest of that patient. And if that's what she requires, even for a temporary amount of time, that's what she would require. Absolutely, hindsight's 20/20, but look at it. She slowly is unraveling. And it was in place and she wasn't unraveling. She might not have been happy, but she was stable. Medication, put it in her. If she doesn't want to take it, I would inject it in her.
Wow, that's, you were quick to answer that. There's no question in your mind.
No, she needs medication. She's out of control.
My question is, stable for who? Like, because she doesn't meet your standards? And I don't agree with, like I said, you know, some of the Instagram stuff. But again, she's, like, finding her way. Therapy can be mandated. Medication, no. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. I just feel like people try to push this, like, you have to be this perfect way all the time. And they don't allow people grace to, like, have a mental breakdown sometimes. And I'm not saying, like, we should be just having mental breakdowns, but, like, after what she went through, yeah, I am saying, like, give that girl time to heal without, you know. But at the same time, are we really surprised that certain people want to do this to her? I'm not. I hope that she's healing, and I hope she's having a great time. But again, it's her money, and if she wants to spend it, she freaking can. People have stolen it long enough. But I just want to say something. As someone who, like, went through a thing where I was being really controlled for a long time, and then I got out of that, there is a ounce of, like, you're so giddy that you have your freedom that you go a little buck wild. And maybe people should take the opinions of people who have been through stuff like that, where you have been controlled for a very long time. Matter of fact, look at people who are, like, really controlled during their childhood, and they go absolutely berserk, and you're like, who is this person? Oh my goodness, you're insane. And then they calm down a few years later, and they're like, you know what, I went way over the top and I overcorrected, or you overdid it, but you just needed to get it out of your system because it has been suppressed for so long. I just genuinely think that's what Brittany is going through, and I really hope she finds healing. And to me, it seemed like she's mellowed out a bit. I don't know. Like, I feel like she went really crazy at the beginning. She's mellowing out, and I just let her be a human. Like, everyone is human at the end of the day. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. Bye. P.S. She reminds me of regular people in America. And that's why we love Brittany. We stand Brittany. And I will forever be a supporter. And her perfume smells amazing. And I was obsessed with it in middle school and high school.